Welcome. Today, we're diving deep into the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, the ancient philosophy that has helped countless individuals achieve inner strength, self-discipline, and lasting motivation. If you're tired of relying on fleeting bursts of inspiration, and you're ready to build real sustainable self-discipline, this is the video for you. Let's explore how Stoic principles can transform your approach to self-mastery and goal achievement. Before we talk about Stoicism, let's define self-discipline. Self-discipline is your ability to stay focused on your goals and maintain control over your actions and emotions, especially when you're faced with distractions or challenges. It's the power to say no to temptations that don't align with your values and long-term objectives. But self-discipline isn't something we're born with. It's a skill that can be developed over time. Here's the thing: motivation alone isn't enough. Motivation can come and go, and it's often driven by how we feel in the moment. Some days, you might wake up feeling excited to take on the world, but other days, you might feel lethargic or uninspired. So, how do you keep going when motivation fades? That's where self-discipline comes in. It's about taking action even when the initial excitement is gone, and it's what keeps us on track long-term. Motivation is often misunderstood. People believe that in order to achieve something, they must feel motivated all the time. But here's the truth. Motivation is often fleeting. It's like a spark that lights the fire, but it's the kindling of self-discipline that keeps it burning. Stoicism teaches us that if we rely solely on motivation, we're setting ourselves up for failure. The Stoics believed that motivation shouldn't be the driving force behind our actions. Instead, they focused on consistent effort, commitment, and a deep understanding of our own values. Stoics understood that motivation would not always be present, but they also knew that true self-discipline comes from controlling what we can, our thoughts, behaviors, and reactions. Let's now dive into how Stoicism can help us develop self-discipline and stay motivated in the long run. The first principle I want to discuss is the dichotomy of control. The dichotomy of control is a core idea in Stoicism that teaches us to focus only on the things we can control and to let go of everything else. In life, there are countless things beyond our control: other people's actions, the weather, external circumstances, but the one thing we always have control over is how we choose to respond. This is where self-discipline comes in. Instead of wasting energy worrying about things you can't change, Stoicism teaches you to focus on your thoughts, actions, and emotions. If you can focus on what's within your control, your effort, your mindset, and your daily habits, you'll find that motivation becomes less important, discipline takes over, and your actions become driven by purpose, not fleeting feelings. Another critical Stoic principle for building self-discipline is the idea of cultivating virtue. In Stoic philosophy, virtue is the highest good, and it's about living in alignment with key moral principles: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. When you focus on virtue rather than external rewards or recognition, you create lasting motivation. Instead of focusing solely on achieving a goal for the sake of an outcome, like getting a promotion or losing weight, you shift your focus to the process itself. For example, when working toward a goal, you can focus on being disciplined, temperance, being patient, courage, and making ethical decisions, justice. This shift in perspective changes how you approach challenges. Motivation becomes rooted in the values and virtues that guide your actions, rather than the external results. When you act out of virtue, your motivation is sustained by a sense of purpose and alignment with your deepest values. This means you don't need motivation in the same way because you're driven by something deeper. Now let's talk about some practical Stoic techniques you can use to strengthen your self-discipline. One powerful Stoic technique is negative visualization. This involves imagining the worst-case scenario before you take on any challenge. Now this might sound a little strange, but it's incredibly effective. By mentally preparing for obstacles or setbacks, you're less likely to be caught off guard when they arise. This technique helps you detach emotionally from the outcome. Instead of getting frustrated or demotivated when things don't go as planned, you simply accept that challenges are a part of life and move forward with a clear mind. It helps you stay focused on what's within your control. Another great Stoic practice is journaling. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, kept a daily journal where he reflected on his thoughts, emotions, and actions. This practice helps you develop self-awareness, recognize areas for improvement, and stay grounded in your values. Routine is another Stoic tool that's essential for building self-discipline. By establishing a daily routine that aligns with your values, you reduce the need for willpower. When you make the right choices automatically without needing motivation, you create a life of consistency. Consistency is the true key to long-term success. Motivation will come and go, but if you're consistent with your routines and habits, you'll find that self-discipline becomes second nature. A Stoic daily routine doesn't have to be elaborate. It's about building small, positive habits that reinforce your values and keep you moving forward. Finally, what do you do when you slip up or face setbacks? The Stoics believed that setbacks are opportunities for growth. Instead of viewing failures as something negative, they saw them as chances to apply discipline, learn, and improve. If you fail, it's not the end of the world. It's a moment to reflect, understand what went wrong, and adjust your approach. Stoicism teaches us that we are not defined by our mistakes. We are defined by how we respond to them. Let's recap. True self-discipline isn't about relying on motivation. It's about focusing on what you can control, cultivating virtue, sticking to a consistent routine, and learning from setbacks. Stoicism gives us the tools to live with intention and resilience no matter what life throws at us. If you found this video helpful, I encourage you to apply these Stoic principles in your life and see how they transform your approach to discipline and motivation. Remember, discipline isn't about willpower alone, it's about creating a life aligned with your values and purpose.